Hello there, welcome back to the Grandpa Deckard Show. I am continuing my series entitled Grandpa's Cars, and today I would like to share with you an episode called The Tale of Two Plymouths, 1941 Plymouths, by the way. Well, back in 1954, we were living in Mitchell, Indiana. I was 4 years old, and we were getting ready to move to Florida. We had our old 1941 Plymouth. It was gray, and Dad called it Old Gray. And I was the only one going with them. My other siblings were going to have to stay and finish out the semester at school, and then they'd come down by train later on. Okay, so we were out next to the house, and Dad had taken the back seat out of the 41 Plymouth and had laid out suitcases and boxes and everything that he could fit in the trunk space and in the back seat area, with the back seat now gone. And then on top of all that, he laid a small mattress, and that was where I was going to travel. And so, we were moving to Florida, but I really didn't even know what Florida was. And so by the time we pulled down the driveway and headed south, and we just reached Orleans, Indiana, which was just a few miles down the road, I called out, "When will we be there?" To Florida, that is. Well, I think my parents said it'll be a little while, and so for about every 10 or 20 miles after that, I would whine and I'd say, "When will we be there?" And some of you have similar stories, I'm sure, and you could leave a comment below and tell me when you first said that, "When will we be there?" But all the way to Florida, whining, nagging, calling out, and it's a wonder that my parents didn't just pull over and set me out by the side of the road and go on by themselves. But they loved me, and they put up with my whininess. Well, finally, we did get there. It took a long time, and it was a great adventure. And after we had been down there in Fort Lauderdale for nearly 4 years, we were going to then return to Indiana. Our dad rather sold Old Gray, and I was deeply in love with that car. And he said what was even worse is that he said the next morning a man would be coming to get it, and he was going to turn it into a truck. And my heart sank when I heard that news. Well, we left. Dad had another car. We were gone. But the night before that man came to get the car, I went out, bedtime, sat down on the pavement in front of the car, and I cried, and then I kissed Old Gray on its fog lamps. And so, very, very emotional moment for me. But that was the final chapter on Old Gray. Now, this is a tale of two Plymouths, so the next one is quite short. Many years later, in fact in 1973, I was driving through Ellettsville, Indiana, where we now live, and I saw a 1941 Plymouth. Only this one was not Old Gray, this was Old Green, I guess, because it was dark green. It was for sale. And I pulled off the road and got out and started walking around, looking in the windows, and the guy that owned it came out. And well, in short, I bought it, had to have it. And so I bought it, and we drove that for a while. But so anyway, that's the Tale of Two Plymouths. And I've got a song to share, I've got some pictures to share with you, so don't go away quite yet. I've got a little pilot tin, nobody knows what shape it's in. It's got 4 wheels and a running board, oh it's a Ford, oh it's a Ford. Honk honk rattle 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 crash beep beep, honk honk rattle 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 crash beep beep, honk honk rattle 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 crash beep beep, honk honk. I've got a little old pilot tin, nobody knows what shape it's in. My name is Jim, Dad called me Jimothy. I think I'll call this car my Plymouthy. Honk honk rattle 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 crash beep beep, honk honk rattle 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 crash beep beep, honk honk rattle 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 crash beep beep.